Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. George Hathaway alongside Marshall Garvey here for some PSCL action between the Bombers and the Haymakers. Early morning baseball here.
Indeed, it is another picturesque, absolutely spotless day here in Palm Springs. No better place to be than here at historic Palm Stadium, as the legendary Chicago Cubs shortstop would always say, Ernie Banks would always say, let's play two. And we've got two PSCL games for you, sure to bring a lot of entertainment as we're about to get underway soon.
Starting on the mound for the Haymakers is Caporal, who's going to be on the bump, starting things off this morning. And then for the Bombers leading things off is going to be Cooper Winton in just a few moments. That's Caporal just warming up. Smith behind the plate, then Harris over on first. Bossis on second, Chapman over at short. Goldsberry on third, Goick at left field, Fleece in center, and Truong in right field. That's going to be who's out there for the Haymakers to start things off. They are in their maroon on white uniforms with the bright orange baseball caps that are worn throughout the PSCL. As Winton stepping in the left batter's box to lead things off for the Bombers, who are in their yellow on black uniforms with white pants. His first pitch going to be underway in just a moment. Smith just getting adjusted behind the plate. Cooper Winton bats left, throws right. He's standing at 5'9", freshman at Merced College. As here's the first pitch. Breaking ball down low, 1-0.
Winton in search of his first hit of the season. Got on base against the A's by a hit by pitch, also scored a run in their 4-3 loss to the A's.
The 1-0 upstairs for a 2-0 count for Winton. Bombers coming into the ball game 0-1, 2 games back from the A's, who are 3-0. And then the Haymakers 1-1 on the season, 1.5 games back from first place here in PSCL. As that's going to be grounded right up to Chapman at short. Takes one hop. And the throw is not in time over to Harris, as that is going to be a hit for Winton to start things off.
It was hard hit, but misplayed briefly at short, and that was just enough time for him to get into first, so that's one on.
Toby Yoshida stepping in the right-hand batter's box, stands at 5'6". Freshman at Mount San Antonio. The righty on righty action here with Caporal on the hill with one runner on after a base hit there. Here's a pitch. Breaking ball in for strike one.
Yoshida went 1 for 3 against the A's, managed to triple. Also scored a run in that game.
Caporal getting set. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and missed on the breaking ball again from Caporal, as Yoshida down in the count quickly, 0-2. No outs, one runner on for the Bombers. And is there the away team here at Palm Springs Stadium?
See if Winton resumes his... He had a big lead going there on that previous pitch. Leading off again.
0-2 count. Caporal sets and kicks.
He's going.
As that's going to be fouled away, and Winton going to have to go back to first. Gruska on deck for the Bombers. He's warming up. Still an 0-2 count for Yoshida. Winton with a 2-stride lead over on first. Corners pinched in. The ground ball here could possibly turn 2 for the Haymakers in the field. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Going to be upstairs, a throwback. Not in time. Winton safe over on first. So we're going to be 1-2 count for the shortstop, Yoshida. Smith kicking up some dirt behind the plate. Still trying to get adjusted in that catcher's position. This will be a 1-2 count, no outs, 1 runner on for the Bombers. Here, top of the first inning. Here's 1-2 from Caporal. And Smith threw that over to second, thinking that Winton was going to steal. He's been dancing around on first, showing signs that he might possibly steal. After a base hit from Winton to lead off the ball game.
It's definitely getting in their heads.
Caporal, right-hand pitcher for the Haymakers. And here's the 2-2. That's going to be chopped up, and that's going to get underneath Bossis for a base hit as Winton is going to go over to third, and we have runners on the corners for the Bombers to lead things off here in the ball game.
Winton set the tone for that. He was off and running on that hit, and now runners on the corners.
Winton in scoring position over on third. Gruska at the plate. Trevor Gruska, from a freshman at Andrew College. No outs, 2 runners on for the Bombers. Top of the first inning. Caporal deals. Going to be upstairs, 1 up.
2 strikeouts. Gruska with 2 strikeouts in his 2 plate appearances against the A's. Perfect time for his first hit of the season.
Base hit here would bring Winton in on home to score the first run of the ball game. With no outs, Yoshida on first with Winton on third. Gruska at the plate. Here's 1 out. Breaking ball down low in the dirt. Smith able to keep the ball in front of him. Gruska up in the count, 2 out.
Still nobody out here in this top half of the first. Bombers could have an explosive beginning to their game. The 2-0.
That's going to get inside for strike 1 for Gonzalez, the third baseman, who's at the plate now. Two-one count. That pitch going to be outside. So it'll be a hitter's count for Gonzalez, 3-1.
Yoshida had a decent lead there off of first. A lot of pressure here on Caporal, just trying to work out of the jam. 3-1, nobody out, runners on the corners. Still no score.
Here's the 3-1. Upstairs, ball 4. We now have bases loaded. First walk of the ball game. Now brings up Weinstein over on second base for the Bombers with bases loaded, 1 out. A base hit here from Weinstein would bring in 2 runs. Winton on third with Gruska on second and Gonzalez on first after he was just walked. Weinstein, the righty, for the Bombers this morning.
Another Bombers hitter looking for his first hit of the year. 2 strikeouts against the A's. Chance to break this game open. In resounding fashion here in the top half of the first. That one's inside for ball 1.
Close up into the knees of Weinstein. Going to take that pitch 1-0. One 0 count, bases loaded with 1 out. Haymakers trying to turn 2 in the field. Check swing there, going to get called for a strike. Weinstein looking back at the home plate umpire. Pretty confused. 1-1 count with 1 out here,
Like,
top of the first inning.
looked like a borderline, fairly dubious call, but nonetheless 1-1. 1 out. Bases loaded.
Here's a 1-1 pitch from Caporro. That's in for strike 2. A breaking ball, painting the corners. One-two count now coming up for Weinstein. Holland on deck for the Bombers, who are managed by Thomas Nelson. Caporro sets. Here's a 1-2. As that's going to hit him, and that's going to bring in a run as Winton comes in to score the first run of the ball game. Bases still loaded. Weinstein on first after he was just hit by a pitch. Gonzalez now on second with Gruska over now on third. Bases still loaded for Holland.
And now, the lefty Troy Holland batting. Freshman out of Chaffey College. 1 for 3 with an RBI against the A's.
Breaking ball down low, 1-0 count. Bases still loaded here for the Bombers, who are seeking their first win of the season against the 1-1 Haymakers. Here's a 1-0. Fastball just outside, 2-0 count for Holland. For Holland batting .333 on the season for the Bombers. Here's a 2-0.
Now 3-0 Quarrel, continuing to miss his spots. On the edge of walking in the second run of the game. See if Caporal can try and find the zone a bit more. 3-0.
That's going to be ball number 4. The second batter walked here in the inning brings home another run. That's Gruska.
And already it's going to be time for a mound visit.
The infield's coming in for the Haymakers. They're going to talk things over. His bases are still loaded. Holland on first, Weinstein on second, Gonzalez on third. As the Bombers are up 2-0 in the top of the first. Avery Hubbard going to be the batter coming up soon. With bases loaded, 1 out for the Bombers, who have a commanding 2-0 lead in the top of the first inning.
Hubbard, a sophomore out of Monterey Peninsula College, making his first offensive start of the season. His first outing against the A's was on the mound, in which he pitched a scoreless inning with 2 strikeouts in their 4-3 loss to the A's. Now looking to do damage with the lumber. Still only 1 out.
Bases are loaded here for the Bombers. Caporro kicks and deals another pitch. Fastball upstairs, 1 out. Gruska and Winton are the only 2 Bombers with a base hit. Yoshiba struck out, Gonzalez walked, Weinstein hit by pitch, Holland walked. hence why bases are loaded. Another breaking ball outside, 2-0. Tough inning for Kaporal on the hill for the Haymakers. Is he looking to get out of this inning with one out? Here's a pitch. That's going to be chopped up over to short. Double play ball here. And that's going to go over the head of Harris. As Bossis just did not throw. As 2 runs going to come in to score. It's going to be Weinstein and Gonzalez coming in, which now puts the Bombers up 4-0 in the top of the first.
Now, catcher Zach Rodman, freshman out of the University of Puget Sound, takes one inside, ball 1.
One-0 count for the catcher, Rodman. Two outs here in the top of the first inning. Here's a 1-0. That's right down Main Street. 1-1 count coming up for Rodman.
Bombers setting the tone for augurs to be their first win of the season. Time is called.
A little bit of action in the Haymakers bullpen to start things off here in the top of the first inning. One count for Rodman. As the Bombers have a commanding 4-0 lead in the top of the first inning. As that's get called for strike 2.
Moral, he's not finding the strike zone a lot so far. He's walked in 2 runs. Trying to limit the damage here. 1-2. The pitch. Swung on and missed.
That's going to retire the inning for the second strikeout for Kaporal, much needed. As we now go to the bottom of the first inning, it's going to be Fleece, Goick, and Chapman leading things off when we return. Welcome back. Some early morning baseball here at Palm Springs Stadium. Bombers, Haymakers. We're watching some PSCL action. The Bombers are up 4-0 here. Bottom of the first inning as the Haymakers looking to respond. It's Young. He's on the hill for the Bombers to start off this ball game. As Fleece in the right-hand batter's box for the Haymakers, leadoff hitter. As shows signs of bunting as that's going to drop. And first base umpire going to say it was fouled off. However, they're going to have a quick conversation about it. So it looked like from up here that it was in fair territory.
It definitely did. You can see the scuffle marks on the dirt there. That's. But it looks like the call will stand.
So it's going to be an 0-1 count for Fleece. And the Haymakers. Fleece, he's over in center field.
He's 5'7", 150 pounds. Perfect frame for a quick ambush like that. Try and get on base. He'll take that low for ball one. Fleece, the sophomore out of Northern Oklahoma College, Enid. He's batting .500 on the year. Had a monstrous showing against the Snowbirds with 2 hits and 5 RBIs.
Here's a 1-1 pitch from Young. That's going to be fouled back. Fleece making contact after showing signs of bunting his first 2 pitches. Gowick on deck for the Haymakers. Here's a 1-2, swung on and miss for strike 3. First out of the bottom of the first inning. Comes in the swinging strike to Fleece. Yes, that's going to be Young's first strike out of the ball game. Which brings up Gowick, the left-handed batter.
Cade Gowick, also out of Northern Oklahoma College, Enid, a freshman.
Here's a pitch from Young. That's going to be chopped up the middle for a base hit as Yoshiba just could not get a grasp on the ball. That's going to be a base hit for Gowick. First hit of the game for the Haymakers as they're down by 4 runs here in the bottom of the first inning.
Yoshida with a good dive there to try and stop it, but it just hopped out of his reach. Now 1 on.
It's going to be Chapman at the plate for the Haymakers. Check back over. As Gowick's safe there. He has a 3-stride lead over on first. As Chapman.
Yet another Northern Oklahoma College Enid representative.
And is that pitch going to be down low in the dirt? As Rodman did not throw it over to Gruska on first. Gowick going to be safe there. It's going to be 1 out, 1 runner on for the Haymakers, who are down 4 runs in the bottom of the first inning. Young awaiting his signs from Rodman. Gets set. Here's a pitch. And Gowick, he's going down as that's going to get away from Yoshida, who is going to be covering over on second. As that got away from him. Now puts Gowick in scoring position now on second for the Haymakers, who are looking to score their first run of the ball game.
Indeed, that was a really good steal by Gowick. Now the infield.
Got a lot of games going on here today for some PSCL action. Few games throughout the ball day, as there's 2 games here at Palm Springs Stadium, a few games over on the turf field as well. That's over in right field. Here's the pitch from Young. Going to be outside. 3-0 count for Chapman, who's over at shortstop for the Haymakers this morning.
Chapman hitting 167 on the year. A chance for his first RBI of the season right here, right now.
Soto Romero on deck for the Haymakers. That's going to get inside. It's going to be a hitter's count still 3-1 for Chapman as breaking ball inside, strike one.
Still only one out. Goic dancing off of second base with Yoshida. Dancing right behind him.
Going to be swung on and missed. Full count for Chapman. With one out, one runner in scoring position for the Haymakers, who are looking to get on board to cut into the Bombers' 4-0 lead that they have in the bottom of the first inning.
Count full. Only one out. Goic and Yoshida checking one another.
As that's going to be foul tipped. As Chapman just got right underneath the ball. Still full count. You like to see the aggression there from Chapman. Full count with one out. Young on the mound for the Bombers. He's looking back over at Goic on second, who's toying with them there. Swung on and missed. That's strike number 3. Second strikeout for Young. And the second out of the inning, which brings up Soto Romero, designated hitter for the Haymakers. Two outs, one runner on for the Haymakers here, bottom of the first inning. As that's going to be upstairs, 1-0 count.
Soto Romero, a sophomore out of college with the Redwoods, stands 5'8". Lying out of the left side. Looking for his first RBI of the season.
Here's a 1-0. That's going to be hit up the middle and through for a base hit. Goic, they're waving him on home. And he's going to come in untouched as the Haymakers are now on the board after an RBI single from Soto Romero. However, they're still down 3 runs here in the bottom of the first inning, showing signs of life with 2 outs. It's going to be Smith, the catcher, stepping in the batter's box now for the Haymakers. This will be the second hit, allowed by Young. He has 2 strikeouts as well.
Connor Smith out of Alpha Charter. 6'3", 205 pounds. An RBI single in his only at bat. And they're in a 4-12 loss against the Lumberjacks. Try to keep this inning going.
Breaking ball that didn't just break. It's going to be a 1-0 count for Connor Smith. Young, the right-hand pitcher, starting things off for the Bombers. Here's a 1-0. Again up high. The fastball there. Could not find the strike zone. It's going to be 2-0. Here's a 2-0 pitch from Young, breaking ball down low. Smith up in the count, 3-0. 2 outs, 1 runner on here. Haymakers able to get on board. They're still down 1-4 against the Bombers. The check back over to first as Soto Romero just walks back over. He's safe on first after an RBI single that brought Goic on home for the Haymakers' only run of this inning. Bottom of the first. With 2 outs, here's a 3-out. That's the upstairs of the zone. Fastball there. Now a 3-1 count for Connor Smith. Here's a 3-1. That's up and away. Ball number 4. Smith just ducked underneath that one. Now puts Soto Romero in scoring position now on second after Smith getting his free base after he was walked.
Looks like we've got a substitution here at first base.
Pinch runner coming in for the Haymakers, so Connor Smith with 2 outs can put on his catching gear and get ready. It's going to be Santiago at the plate for the Haymakers with runner in scoring position. Soto Romero over on second. Here's the pitch from Young. That's going to be down and away. 1-0. Two outs, 2 runners on here. Bottom of the first inning.
Santiago in a strong season so far, batting .667. 2 RBIs in his last game against the Lumberjacks out of Basic Academy.
Here's the 1-0 upstairs.
It's 2-0 now.
Ogden, the pinch runner for Smith over on first.
Both runners taking very sizable leads. And the double steal's in motion, and they won't get it. Runner at third is out, and that'll end the inning.
Is Haymakers able to score 1 run in the bottom of the first inning. And it's going to be Walker, King, and Winton, the 3 due up next in the top of the second inning when we return. Welcome back. Early morning baseball here for the PSCL at Palm Springs Stadium. George Hathaway alongside Marshall Garvey here on the call. Bombers up 4-1. They're looking to get their first win of the season.
Connor Caporal sets in. First pitch of the inning.
As that is going to be lined into foul territory. Walker, he's at the plate. Start things off for the Bombers, 0-1 count.
Caporal looking to settle down after a rough first inning. 4 runs allowed.
Here's the 0-1. Swung on and missed as Walker quickly down in the count, 0-2.
Caporal, so far a step back compared to his first outing of the season, in which he allowed only 1 earned run and a win over the Snowbirds.
Here's the 0-2 from Caporal. That's going to be lined back by Walker, staying alive at the plate. Caporal has 2 strikeouts so far in the ball game, allowed 2 hits and 4 runs thus far. looking to bounce back here, top of the second inning. As the Bombers are up 4-1.
Keaton Walker, freshman out of South Mountain Community College.
Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball down low, 1-2. King is on deck for the Bombers. As here in the PSCL, they have an extra hitter for 10 batters. Getting all the playing time for these guys this summer. It's a great league here in the PSCL. Here's a 1-2 pitch from Caporal, down and away. Knotted up at 2. A lot of ball games going on as well here around the complex in Palm Springs, California. Beautiful Wednesday morning.
A day absolutely loaded with baseball action. Wouldn't have it any other way. The 2-2.
As that's going to get Walker looking for strike number 3. As that's going to be a third strikeout for Caporal, starting off the inning strong. Comes up the 10th batter, King, for the Bombers, with 1 out. Here, top of the second inning. So Bombers have a commanding 4-1 lead over the Haymakers. Caporal sets and kicks.
Was low and away for ball 1. As my colleague noted, just beyond the outfield fence, you can see other teams, other players doing their drills. It fills you with anticipation for all that we have to see today.
Chops back over in the glove of Caporal. He's going to walk that one up over to first for the second out.
Caporal looking like he's settled down after a hectic first inning. Walks and a crucial error manifested 4 runs for the Bombers.
With 2 outs, we're flipping things back over to the top of the order with Winton, who had a base hit and scored a run in his first outing in the top of the first inning. Here's a pitch from Caporal. That's going to get away from Smith. 1-0 count. Caporal kicks. Breaking ball inside, strike 1. Going up against the lefty Winton. Utilizing all parts of the zone here for the 1-1 count with 2 outs, looking to retire the inning. Here's a pitch. Swung on and missed. Breaking ball. This is going to be a 1-2 count for Winton. And Caporal and company looking to retire the side 1-2-3 fashion.
We're all absolutely dialed into this inning.
Two outs, nobody on for the Bombers. Here's a 1-2 pitch, as that is just going to be fouled back. Winton just getting a piece of that. Just got the top of the ball there. After an early swing from Winton. It's going to be a 1-2 count with 2 outs. Here's a pitch. As that's going to be a slow roller up to third. Goldsberry over to first. Got him!
Smooth play there and a 1-2-3 for Caporal. So no runs for the Bombers there. They still lead 4-1 as the Haymakers try to chip away at that lead when we return.
Good morning from Palm Springs Stadium. George Hathaway alongside Marshall Garvey here on the call. As Santiago gets a fresh slate. He was batting in the first inning and the throwdown over from Rodman to Gonzalez at third. Got Soto Romero out to end the inning. As another bunt here to Young, who's off his back foot, is able to throw it over to Gruska in time for the first out. The Haymakers have been showing signs of bunting all throughout the ball game so far. We've seen it 3-4 times already.
And what a spectacular play there. Couldn't be much harder than having to barehand a bunt to the opposite side, but he got it more than in time for the first out.
Which brings us to Harris, the left-handed batter, the first baseman for the Haymakers as well. With one out, here's a pitch from Young. That's going to be chopped right up over to short, getting over the head of Yoshida, and that's going to be a base hit for Harris to lead to get on base for the Haymakers. With one out, one runner on. Goldsberry now stepping up to the dish. Goldsberry, he's over on third this morning for the Haymakers. Righty on righty action here between Young and Goldsberry. With one out, one runner on. Here's a pitch. That's going to be hit up over in the right field. Hubbard getting underneath that one towards foul territory. Harris going to stay where he is for the second out. That's Goldsberry. Mark that down, F9 in the books.
After a protracted first inning on both halves, we could be looking at a pretty expedient second inning here.
Bombers up 4-1 over the Haymakers, bottom of the second inning. Truon at the plate. The check back over to first. Harris safe there after he had a base hit a few batters ago, 2 outs here in the inning. Check back over again. Harris diving safely in the first with Truong still at the plate awaiting the first pitch from Young. Truong over in right field for the Haymakers this morning. Here's a 2-out pitch as that's going to be fouled back. 0-1 count for Truong.
Truong out of Chico State, batting 667 on base percentage for the year, looking for his first hit of the year.
0-1 outside. Count knotted up at 1. Two outs, one runner on for the Haymakers. They're down by 3 runs here, bottom of the second inning. Young checks back over. Harris safe. It's the third time we've seen the check back from Young to Gruska this inning. Young on the mound. He delivers the 1-1. That fastball there called strike 2. For Truong. Haymakers 1-1 on the season. They're 1.5 games back from the A's, who are 3-0, leading things off. The only undefeated team in the PSCL. Harris safe over on first after the 4th check throw over. Still 1-2 count with 2 outs. Here's a 1-2 from Young. Going to be breaking ball down and away. 2-2 count with 2 outs. Coming up for the right fielder. Young gets his sign from Rodman. Here's a throw. Upstairs, full count.
Full count now. Only one on again. It's 4-1. Bombers with a commanding lead. The Haymakers trying to chip away at it here. Keep this inning alive. The 3-2.
Here's a pitch from Young. That's going to be fouled back. Truong staying alive at the plate, showing some life here with 2 outs, 1 runner on. And that's how the Haymakers got their first run as well. They were able to get on base with 2 outs and also able to score a run after an RBI single from Soto Romero in the bottom of the first inning. Full count still for Truong. Here's a pitch from Young, swung on and missed for strike 3. That's going to be the 3rd strikeout for Young in the ball game. As we now go, top of the 3rd inning, it's going to be Yoshida, Gruska, and Gonzalez. A 3 due up next for the Bombers when we return. Welcome back, Palm Springs Stadium. Caporal still on the mound for the 3rd straight inning. Here's the pitch from him. Way inside as Yoshida had to lean back out of that one. It's going to be 1-0 count. In his first at-bat, Yoshida struck out. Here's a 1-0. Going to be chopped up over to short. Chapman, the throw over. He's able to get Yoshida out for the first out, the top of the 3rd inning. Bombers are up 4-1 over the Haymakers here in some PSCL action. Early morning baseball. Gruska stepping into the batter's box. The lefty has a single and scored a run in the top of the 1st inning. One of the 4 runs for the Bombers. Caporal breaking ball in for strike 1.
1 crawl.
Delivers. That's going to be down low. 1-1.
Crawl got roughed up in the 1st inning, surrendering 4 runs, but looking pretty locked in since then. 1-1, 1 out, nobody on.
As that's going to be foul tipped. Going back behind the plate, 1-2 count for Gruska. Gonzalez on deck. It was a 1-2-3 inning for Caporal and the Haymakers. Walker struck out, King and Winton both grounded out for the other 2 outs. That's a swing and a miss for strike number 3. The 4th strikeout for Caporal on the mound. As he's found his stride the last few innings. 2 outs, Gonzalez at the plate. He was walked in the top of the 1st inning and scored a run. The pitch, swung and a miss. Breaking ball got right underneath the bat of Gonzalez. So Bombers are up 4-1 here, top of the 3rd inning. George Hathaway alongside Marshall Garvey here on the call. this morning for some PSCL action baseball. Breaking ball out and away. 1-1 count for Gonzalez. With 2 outs, nobody on.
Bombers looking to extend the inning.
Here's a 1-1 from Caporal. That's going to be fouled back. There's a late hit there from Gonzalez. Going into foul territory. It's going to be 1-2. Gonzalez was walked in his first at-bat. Now he's down to the count 1-2. With 2 outs, nobody on here. Top of the 3rd inning. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
That's a 1-2-3 from Corporal. He is dialed in.
The second straight 1-2-3 inning. As Caporal has a ground out and 2 strikeouts in this inning under his belt. As we now go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. It's going to be Boasis, Fleece, and Goic. The 3 due up next for the Haymakers when we return. Good morning from Palm Springs Stadium. George Hathaway alongside Marshall Garvey here on the call. Bosses at the plate for the Haymakers to lead things off here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. They still trail by 3 runs against the Bombers. As Bosses at the plate, here's Young. The pitch upstairs, 1-0. Bosses, the 10th hitter for the Haymakers, playing over on second, as that's going to be a fastball upstairs for strike 1. In the PSCL, they have an extra hitter to allow the maximum amount of playing time for everybody in at-bats. Here's a 1-1. That's going to be fouled away right over down the right field concourse. So, Boss is down in the count 1-2. With the top of the order and Fleece on deck. 1-2 from Young. Slow roller right into the glove of Grusko, who's going to walk it over himself for the first out.
Both pitchers have definitely settled in since the 1st inning.
After allowing 4 runs in the top of the 1st inning, Caporal has 2 scoreless innings, and Young has 1, looking to make it 2 here with 1 out. Fleece at the plate. He struck out in the bottom of the 1st inning. The pitch from Young upstairs.
Fleece trying to bunt his way on earlier. Like a solid base runner. He waits.
And that's going to be fouled back. 1-1 count for Fleece, who struck out in his first plate appearance. Goic on deck. He's in the on-deck circle. Here's a 1-1 from Young. Breaking ball in the dirt. Fleece now up in the count 2-1 with 1 out, nobody on here in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
2-1, 1 out. Nobody on.
Breaking ball again, same spot in the dirt. Hitters count now 3-1.
Haymakers could definitely use Fleece on the base paths.
Here's a 3-1 from Young. Another breaking ball going to get inside for strike 2. Full count for Fleece.
Might be getting a little. Might be getting a little action. The Haymakers hold, and that one's fouled away. 3-2. Count remains full.
1 out. Goic on deck. Fleece looking to get on base for the first time. Here's a 3-2 from Young. That's going to be ripped right up the middle for a base hit for him. As he's on base, the leadoff hitter for the Haymakers, which brings up Goic, who's a left fielder this morning for the Haymakers. He had a base hit and scored a run, the only run for the Haymakers in the ballgame. 1 out, 1 runner on. Goic, the lefty. Sporting the blue helmet today. As Fleece, he's going to go. However, he's going to have to go back to first as it was fouled away. Oh, 1 count with 1 out. Young going to check back over. And his Fleece safe over on first.
The 0-1. Fleece with him. Danced a little bit off of first there.
3-stride Fleece.
And he goes.
As that's going to get away from Rodman. As Fleece thinking about rounding second to go to 3. However, he's going to stay up over on second. It's going to be a 1-1 count after the pass ball. Advancing Fleece now in a scoring position as the Haymakers look to cut the deficit in half. Bombers lead 4-1. Young looking back at second with Fleece, who has a 4-stride lead. As that's going to be fouled back, 1-2 count for Goic. Chapman on deck with 1 out. Base hit would bring on Fleece home. Goic already has 1 hit on the day already. Scored the lone run for the Haymakers in the bottom of the first inning. Here we are, bottom of the third. Young getting a sign from Robin. 1 out. Looks back over at second. Here's a 1-2. As that just got the end of the bat of Goic is going to foul that one away. Lots of baseball here today in Palm Springs, California. Full day of PSCL action, and then later tonight at 7 p.m. the Palm Springs Power will take on the California Halos. Palm Springs Power got an 18-6 win over the Halos last night. As here's a 1-2 from Young. That's going to be upstairs, 2-2.
Fleece with a gaping lead off of second. Gotta figures might go for it on this one. The 2-2. Still only 1 out.
Young delivers. Fastball upstairs makes the count full. With 1 out, Fleece in scoring position for the Haymakers. We're looking to get on board this inning. Here's a full count pitch from Young. That's popped up into the air. King getting underneath that one over in left field. And Fleece going to stay on second. 2 outs now. In the bottom of the third inning, Chapman at the plate. He struck you out in the bottom of the first inning. As he's looking to bring in a run here for the Haymakers. Haymakers 1-1 on the season. As this is day 3 of PSCL action. With 2 outs, runner in scoring position. Fleece on second. Bottom of the third. Bombers up 4-1. Young on the mound. Looks back over to second. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball down low, 1-0.
Fleece resuming his sizable lead. Off a second. Yoshida right behind him.
Here's a 1-0. Popped up into the air in the shallow center. Winton, calling for it, gets underneath it. That's going to retire the inning, leaving Fleece in scoring position on second. As it's going to be another scoreless inning here as we transition to the top of the 4th inning. It's going to be Weinstein, Holland, and Hubbard. The 3 due up next for the Bombers. When we return, they're up 4-1. Good morning baseball here at Palm Springs Stadium. Bombers Haymakers for some PSCL action. Bombers up 4-1. As that's going to be fouled back from Weinstein. He was hit by a pitch in the 1st inning. Scored 1 of the 4 runs for the Bombers. Caporal still on the mound for the Haymakers for the 4th straight inning. He allowed 4 runs in the 1st inning. Since then, 1, 2, 3 innings back to back. So he's picked up the pace. 0-1 count. That's going to be chopped up over to Bossis at second, and that's going to be the first out. One out here in the top of the 4th inning. Holland, he's stepped in the batter's box for the Bombers. The lefty, he was walked in the 1st inning.
Coral absolutely dialed in. Managing to keep the Haymakers in the game. Still trailing by 3. First pitch to Holland. Swung on a miss.
Breaking ball there from Caporal. Got Holland swinging at it as Hubbard's on deck. Oh, 1 count with 1 out. Here's a pitch from Caporal. Fastball inside, 0-2. Holland quickly down in the count. With 1 out, nobody on here. Top of the 4th inning, Bombers up 4-1, looking to get their first win of the season. Here is the 0-2 pitch. That's going to be chopped up and through for a base hit for Holland. His first hit of the game, and the first hit we've seen since the 1st inning as well. Caporo has retired the innings 1, 2, 3 in the 2nd and 3rd inning. With 1 out, Hubbard at the plate now with 1 runner on. Hubbard, another lefty, going up against a righty, Caporo. 1 out. Here's a pitch from Caporo, way upstairs, 1 up. Smith had to leap up to grab that one, make full extension. He's catching this morning for the Haymakers. Haymakers have the only error of the ball game. 1-0 count. Here's a pitch from Caporo. That's going to be hit right up over to Chapman at short. And the throw over to first is in time for the 2nd out of the inning. That moves Holland over to 2nd in scoring position with Rodman, the catcher for the Bombers, stepping into the batter's box. He struck out in the 1st inning. 1 of 4 strikeouts for Caporo here in the ball game. 2 outs, 1 runner on. That's Holland in scoring position. Haymakers looking to retire the side. However, Rodman has other plans. A single would bring in Holland home to extend the lead as the Bombers are up 4-1 right now.
This is Rodman's first appearance of the season. Part of his first game of the season, 2nd at bat. An RBI here. Put the Bombers up 4-1. Keep them well in the driver's seat of this game.
Here's the pitch. Upstairs. With 2 outs, 1 runner on, it's a 2-0 count for Rodman. Top of the 4th inning. Bombers are up 4-1 over the Haymakers. Here's a 2-0 from Caporo. That's going to be fouled back. No action from either bullpen, as both pitchers have been doing well.
They have.
Since the 1st inning, both pitchers have thrown for no-run innings. Here's a 2-1 pitch from Caporo. That's going to be down and away, 3-1. Smith able to keep the ball in front of him.
3-1 the count now. It's 2 outs. Runner at 2nd. Bombers a chance to extend their lead. Plenty of action elsewhere around the Palm Springs Stadium compound, but my colleague said not much in the bullpens.
Here's a 3-1. Swung on and missed for strike 2. It's going to be a full count coming up for Rodman. A big at-bat here for the catcher. Also a big pitch here for Caporo and the Haymakers. We're looking to retire the side.
See if they can scratch together a rally. They have more hits, 4-3, but still trail 4-1.
Swung on and miss for strike 3. And out number 3, and that's going to be the 5th strikeout for Caporo of the ball game to retire the side, leaving Holland stranded over on 2nd. It's going to be Soto, Romero, Smith, and Santiago. The 3 due up next. The 4-5-6 in the bottom of the fourth when we return. Bombers still up 4-1. Welcome back, Palm Springs Stadium. George Hathaway alongside Marshall Garvey. It's bottom of the fourth inning. Bombers up 4-1 over the Haymakers. Soto Romero stepping up in the left-hand batter's box for the second time of the ball game. He had a base hit to lead things off in the first inning, as he's batting fourth today for the Haymakers.
As he waits that, ball one, and Soto Romero would like to give a hearty shout out to Tucson, Arizona. A salute to everyone there. As he steps in, looking for his second hit of the game.
Here's a 1-0 pitch from Young. That's going to be fouled back 1-1. One count for Soto Romero with Smith on deck. Young delivers upstairs. 2-1 count now. Breaking ball just didn't break enough there. Now we're slowly starting to see some action for the Bombers bullpen now. And a 2-1 make it now 3-1. Identical pitch upstairs. Looks like it's Avery Hubbard warming up in the bullpen. As here's a 3-1 pitch. Bank that ball number 4.
An emphatic bat flip there by Soto Romero, as he's on base for the second time today.
One runner on. Soto Romero on base for the second time today brings up Smith, who was walked in the first inning when we last saw him. Here's a pitch. Breaking ball in for strike 1. Oh, 1 count for Smith. He's a catcher for the Haymakers. Another breaking ball in for an 0-2 count.
Soto Romero. Decent lead off at first.
No outs here, bottom of the fourth inning. As the Haymakers looking to make a rally here as they're down 3 runs. That's chopped up the middle. As Soto Romero going to be safe. And so is Smith.
And
Soto Romero's going to get ahead this third after the pass ball there. with one out. No, excuse me, no outs here.
Oh.
In the inning. Runners are now in the corners. Soto Romero over in scoring position on third. With Santiago now at the plate with no outs, 2 runners on for the Haymakers, who are looking to make a rally here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Santiago grounded out in the 2nd inning. He's going to hit that one up the middle. As getting underneath that one's Winton, and Soto Romero going to tag up in the play at home. He's out. Winton makes the throw from center field over to Rodman, and that's going to get Soto Romero out for the first out of the inning. What a great play there.
Soto Romero definitely had the lead off of third. Chose to take the risk, but thrown out just in time for the first out.
Two outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning after Santiago flew out, which brings up Harris to the plate. Smith, the lone runner on. Harris, the lefty, had a base hit in his first plate appearance in the 2nd inning. The check back over. Smith safe there.
Harris still awaiting his first pitch.
2 outs here, bottom of the 4th inning. Breaking ball down low. 1-0 count with 2 outs. 1 runner on. Bottom of the 4th inning. Bombers are up 4-1. Smith over on first. Here's a pitch. Check swing did not go. It's going to be 2-0 count for Harris. Here's a 2-0 pitch. That's going to be grounded up right over to Weinstein, who's going to make the play over at first for the 3rd out, leaving Smith the lone runner on. As we now go to the top of the 5th inning, it's going to be Walker, King, and Winton. The 3 due up next for the Bombers, who are up 4-1 in the ball game when we return. Welcome back, Palm Springs Stadium. PSCL action here between the Bombers and Haymakers. As Bombers are up 4-1 in search of their first win of the season. Here's the pitch from Caporal.
That hit him.
As Walker is going to get a free base after he's hit by a pitch.
Coral's been so efficient the past 3 innings. Not a good way to start this top half of the 5th here. He's just trying to keep this game within reach.
King stepping in the batter's box, a 10th batter. He grounded out in his only plate appearance in the 2nd inning. Here's a pitch from Caporal upstairs. 1-0 count. Winton on deck in the top of the order.
1-0.
Caporal delivers a 1-0 pitch. That's going to be outside, 2-0. No outs here in the top of the 5th inning. George Hathaway alongside Marshall Garvey here on the call. Check back over to first, not in time as Walker's safe there. Two-0 count still for King. He's over in left field this morning as that pitch fastball upstairs 3-0. Three-0 count, no outs for King with 1 runner on. That's going to be ball number 4. Now Walker moving into scoring position on second.
Coral definitely not as in command of this inning. They've gifted a couple of runners. Still nobody out. Bombers looking to tack on to their lead here.
Marcus Angel in the bullpen for the Haymakers, warming up to our left. No outs, 2 runners on, Winton. As he's going to bunt, and the throw over gets him in time for the first out.
That was an absolutely picture-perfect bunt. Right to the opposite side. That was close enough. It took a moment to deliberate. Now both runners in scoring position for the Bombers. A chance to blow this game wide open. And it looks like we're going to be heading for a pitching change now.
Haymakers talking things over on the hill. With 1 out, Walker on third, King on second. It's going to be Gavin Frazier who's going to be batting, who will be subbing in for Yoshida, who went 0 for 2.
Frazier, a freshman out of Mount Marty University. And Corporal will stay in. Frazier, a rough go of it in his first game against the A's, striking out in all 3 at-bats in that game. Hit now could go a long way in ensuring the Bombers' first win of the year.
2 runners in scoring position, that's Walker and King, with 1 out here in the top of the 5th inning.
Bullpen staying hot for the Haymakers.
Here's a pitch. That's going to get inside for strike 1. Gruska on deck with 1 out. Walker on third, King on second for the Bombers of a 4-1 lead. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball swung on and missed. Frazier down in the count 0-2. It's Marcus Angel still warming up in the bullpen for the Haymakers to our left. Nobody in the bullpen for the Bombers to our right. as the Bombers have a 4-1 lead here, top of the 5th inning. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And that's going to get Frazier looking top of the zone for strike number 3 and out number 2.
Now crucial at bat. 2 down, 2 on. Bombers looking to extend their 4-1 lead.
7 strikeout for Kaporo on the ball game. Brings up Gruska, the first baseman. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game. Here with 2 outs, he scored a run in the first inning after a base hit. It's a breaking ball there, in for strike 1. With 2 outs, 2 runners on for the Bombers of a 4-1 lead, looking to tack on. However, Kaporo and company have other ideas. Breaking ball down low. 1-1.
Zuno.
Kaporo, as Gruska are going to step off, readjust himself, calls time. 1-1 count for Gruska with 2 outs here, top of the 5th inning. Here's a 1-1 pitch, breaking ball, now 2-1.
Two and 1 the count, 2 out, 2 on. 4-1 the Bombers in the lead. Coral trying to wriggle out of this jam and keep his streak of scoreless innings.
As Gruska calls time once again with 2 outs here.
Coral's had a scoreless inning streak going after getting roughed up in the first, trying to keep it that way now. 2 and 1.
Here's a 2-1 pitch. That's way inside. Gruska to get out. 3-1 count for him. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game. Had a base hit in the first inning, scored a run, and then struck out in the 3rd inning.
Bullpen staying warm and at the ready.
Three-one count with 2 outs, 2 runners on. Here's a pitch from Kaporo, swing and a miss. That's strike 2. Full count now. Del Villar on deck for the Bombers. A base hit here could bring in 1 or more runs. With 2 runners in scoring position, Walker on 3rd, King on 2nd. With 2 outs, Kaporo trying to get out of the inning. Marcus Angel warming up for the Haymakers. Full count, here's a pitch. And that's going to get him for strike 3. Gruska, not too happy with the call there, but that's going to be the 2nd straight strikeout for Kaporo. Going to retire the inning scoreless once again. As we go to the bottom of the 5th inning now, it's going to be Goldsberry, Truong, and Bossis. The 3 due up next for the Haymakers when we return for the bottom half of the 5th. Bombers up 4-1 when we return. Welcome back, Palm Springs Stadium. George Hathaway alongside Marshall Garvey. Young still on the mound for the 5th inning. As that pitch there, upstairs 1-0.
After 5 runs total between both teams for the first inning, this game is morphed into a pitcher's duel.
As that's going to be grounded up over to Weinstein over at second. And Goldsberry going to go down 4-3. With 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning, Haymakers down 3 runs against the Bombers. It's going to be Truong at the plate.
No activity in the Bombers bullpen. Young has just been absolutely dialed in. Only 1 run allowed. Haymakers trying to put together a rally.
As that's going to be fouled away.
Clattering off of a couple of seats there for strike 1.
Truong struck out in his only plate appearance that we've seen him, which was in the 2nd inning. It's going to be 0-1 count with 1 out for him, nobody on. Here's a pitch from Young. Inside corner for strike 2. As Truong quickly down in the count 0-2. Young delivers the 0-2. Up and away for ball 1. This might be one of the first times we've seen a pitcher go 5 innings here at Palm Springs Stadium for the PSCL, as Truong going to pop that one up. Robman going to watch that one go out and away towards the stands.
1-2 the count remains. 1 out.
One-two count for Truong. Nobody on.
Johnny Young, absolutely brilliant so far this year. If he gets that one,
As that's going to go down looking for Truong. Second time he's struck out today, which brings up Bossis to the plate, who grounded out in the 3rd inning when we saw him for his only plate appearance. We'll see him for the 2nd time today, bottom of the 5th inning. So that pitch from Young upstairs had Robman jumping up to grab that.
Young didn't allow any earned runs in his outing against the A's on the 11th.
The 1-0 pitch going to be grounded up. Yoshida. And not in time to throw over to Gruska, as Boss is safe there on a base hit. We're now to the top of the order with 2 outs, 1 runner on for the Haymakers, who are down by 3 runs against the Bombers. It's Fleece at the plate. He's 1 for 2, had a base hit in the 3rd inning, and struck out in the 1st. Here's a pitch from Young that's going to be fouled back. Oh, 0-1 count with 2 outs. Young, he's on the mound for the 5th straight inning. The check back over. As Boss is safe on first. We got a base hit for the first time in the ball game. Only runner on for the Haymakers here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Both teams were able to score runs in the 1st inning. Nothing more than that. Boss says he's going to go. The throw, it's in time. As that's going to be the 3rd out. As Robman placed that ball perfectly up for Frazier over at short. And that's going to retire the inning. As we now go, top of the 6th inning, it's going to be Del Villar, Weinstein, and Holland. The 3 due up next. The 4, 5, 6 for the Bombers. We're looking to get their first win of the season when we return. Welcome back to beautiful and sunny Palm Springs, California. George Hathaway alongside Marshall Garvey here on the column for the 6th inning. Caporal going to be on the bump for the Haymakers since allowing 4 runs in the first inning. He's led up for 4 straight scoreless innings, and he's looking to do so again here for the 5th straight time. Del Villar going to be coming in for Gonzalez, who went 1 for 2 in the ball game. Caporal has 8 strikeouts on the day. Del Villar at the plate.
Still action in the Haymakers bullpen for Caporal.
Here's a pitch. That's going to be way inside, 1 out. He's been doing really well. As that is going to be hit right up over to Harris at first, as they're going to tag him up there for the first out.
2 now warming up in the bullpen for the Haymakers. Still no activity for the Bombers' pen. A serene day here in Palm Springs. I'm grateful that you've chosen to spend your time with us. We got a lot of great baseball action for you today.
Julian Gonzalez at the plate for Weinstein, who was hit by a pitch in the first inning, then grounded out in the 4th. Julian Gonzalez at the plate, going to foul that one off with 1 out. Gonzalez going to be over at second. 0-1 count with 1 out, nobody on here. On top of the 6th inning. The pitch going to be down low. Breaking ball as Gonzalez going to swing and miss on that one. Caporal with a great breaking ball. As Gonzalez now down in the count 0-2 with 1 out.
Still 4-1 Bombers in the lead. Had a few opportunities to extend that lead since then.
Here's the 0-2. As that's going to get Gonzalez right in the elbow.
Another hit batsman for Caporal.
His 3rd batter he's hit, but he also has 8 strikeouts on the day as Holland stepping in to the dish with 1 out, 1 runner on. Holland. He's gone on base twice. He walked in the 1st, and then he also had a base hit in the 4th. Breaking ball, 1-0. Count, 1 runner on. 3-stride lead for Gonzalez over on first after he's hit by a pitch a moment ago. With 1 out, Caporal deals. And it's going to be a 2-0 count for Holland. Maccabee on deck for the Bombers, who are up 4-1 in the ball game, top of the 6th inning. Here's a 2-0. Gonzalez is going to throw. It's in time, and they're able to get him. For the 2nd out of the inning, great throw from Smith all the way over to Chapman to get the throw down for the 2nd out, which now brings up Christian Maccabee. Excuse me, it's still going to be Holland.
Now with the bases empty and 2 out. Caporal.
As that's going to be chopped and rolled over into foul territory. Good job there from Smith to let the ball roll. With 2 outs, nobody on here, top of the 6th inning. Two-one count for Holland. With 2 outs, nobody on here, top of the 6th inning. Bombers still up 4-1. In search of their first win of the season. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Gonna be upstairs. Hitters count 3-1.
Coral has amassed 4 consecutive scoreless innings, shutout innings, ever since surrendering 4 runs in the first inning. An out away from managing another. We've got a little discussion here.
Bombers manager Thomas Nelson talking to the home plate umpire.
I had ball 4.
Yeah, it should be ball 4.
Yeah.
And it's for the second straight time. Holland's going to walk. With 2 outs, Holland now on first. Second time he's walked in the ball game, which brings up Maccabee. And that's going to go in for strike 1. First time we've seen Maccabee here in the ball game.
Christian Maccabee, freshman out of McPherson College. .333 average on the year. An RBI hit in his first game against the A's. Awaits the 0-1.
Swing and a miss, strike 2 as Caporo looking to retire the inning, allowing no runs for the 5th straight inning. Oh, 2 count, 2 outs. Holland, he's over on first. Here's the pitch. And that's going to get Maccabee looking for strike 3. And that's going to retire the side. The 9th strikeout for Caporo on the ball game. His 5th straight scoreless inning. Which now brings us to the top of the order with Fleece, Goick, and Chapman. The 3 due up next. Bottom of the 6th inning when we return. Bombers still up 4-1. Welcome back Palm Springs Stadium. George Hathaway alongside Marshall Garvey here on the call for some early morning PSCL action. As the Bombers take on the Haymakers. Bombers up 4-1. Fleece shows signs of bunting. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game. Struck out in the first inning, had a base hit. Went over to second in the third. Oh, 1 count. Young still on the mound for the 6th straight inning. And it's going to be 1-1 count. Goic on deck. One pitch from Young. As Fleece shows signs of bunting again, it's going to be 2-1.
Young with an absolutely brilliant outing. Only 1 run allowed. It's been downright untouchable since the first inning.
It's a 2-1 count. As that's going to get inside right down Main Street for strike number 2. Two count, no outs here. Bottom of the 6th inning. Haymakers down 3 runs. Looking to make a rally here. The 2-2 from Young. Upstairs, full count.
Still no activity in the Bombers bullpen. Trusting their starter can go the distance.
Full count, no outs. Here's a pitch from Young. That's going to be ball number 4. The leadoff hitter. Going to get on base for the Haymakers, who are looking to make a rally here. Bottom of the 6th inning with Goic stepping to the batter's box. Needs a base hit and flew out. In 2 at-bats. Last time we saw him was in the bottom of the 3rd. He also scored the only run for the Haymakers as well in the bottom of the 1st inning. No outs. Fleece, he's going to go steal after a bunt. After the throw over, got Goic out. However, that advances Fleece over into scoring position now.
Young with another excellent barehanded play on a bunt. But the rally now in motion for the Haymakers.
Chapman at the plate. He's 0 for 2. He struck out and flew out in his 2 at-bats today. Fleece over in scoring position on second. Has a sizable lead. Young delivers. That's going to be down low in the dirt. And Rodman going to keep that in his back pocket as Fleece staying on second. One-zero count for Chapman. He's over at shortstop for the Haymakers this morning. 1-0 count. Here's pitch. Upstairs, 2-0.
2-0 now.
On deck, it's Soto Romero for the Haymakers, who had an RBI single. Young looking back over. Here's a 2-0 pitch. Swung on and a miss. Fleece over in scoring position on second after Goic bunted to advance Fleece. Both pitchers let runs up in the first inning, and since then have thrown scoreless. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Fleece, he's going, as that's going to be ripped right over into the glove of Gruska for the second out of the inning. As Fleece now advances over to third base, 90 feet away from home, looking to cut the lead in half. As Soto Romero, he's at the plate. An RBI single in the first inning, walked in the fourth. As Romero going to foul that one away.
Soto Romero absolutely dazzling on the base paths. Just the batter the Haymakers would like to have up. Extend this inning, kickstart this rally. They trail by 3.
0-1 count with 2 outs. Fleece in scoring position on third for the Haymakers, who are down 3 runs against the Bombers here, bottom of the 6th inning. Here's the 0-1. Up and away. 1-1 count. Rodman leaped up to grab that one. Luckily he did, and wasn't a pass ball because Fleece would have came in to score.
Imperative 1-1. Imperative that the Haymakers rally as we are approaching the 2-hour mark. This time is called.
So Romero going to readjust himself. Young going to get loose on the mound. The 1-1 count and 2 outs. Fleece over on third. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Upstairs as Soto Romero up in the count 2-1. Two outs, here's the pitch. As that's going to be ripped right over into the glove of Del Villar. The throw over. They got him out.
Throw looked high, but he was able to come down in time. That keeps the run from scoring. Keeps this game at 4-1 in favor of the Bombers.
And it's another scoreless inning. As now we go to the top of the 7th inning when we return. Welcome back. Top of the 7th inning. George Hathaway alongside Marshall Garvey here on the call. New pitcher on the mound. It's Marcus Angel.
Marcus Angel, a freshman out of West Hills College, Coalinga. His second appearance on the mound this season. His first coming against the Snowbirds on the 11th, in which he pitched 2 innings, allowed 1 hit, 1 earned run, 3 strikeouts, a couple of hit batters, and he hits another one right there.
First batter is going to face Rodman, hit by a pitch. Gets on base for the first time this ball game. As it brings up Walker, who struck out in the 2nd inning, was hit by a pitch in the 5th. Angel going on the mound for Caporal, who finished 6 innings pitched, allowed 3 hits, 4 runs, and 9 strikeouts as well. It's the Angels pitch there. I'm going to go 1-0. One-0 count, no outs. Here's the pitch from Angel, down low in the dirt.
It's 2-0. Runner at first. Bombers looking to pad their lead that they'll try to secure in the bottom half.
2-0 count. 1 runner on, no outs. The pitch from Angel, that's going to be fouled away, 2-1. It's King on deck, batting in the 10 hole here in the PSCL. They have an extra hitter. As Yoshida going to be pinch running for Rodman. As that's going to be popped up into the air in foul territory. Harris gets underneath that one for the first out. Which brings us up to King, who's batting 10th in the order in the PSCL. They have an extra hitter. He grounded out in the 2nd inning, walked in the 5th. And since the 1st inning, both teams combined for 5 runs scored. And that's going to be down low in the dirt. 1-0 count. But since then, both pitchers have thrown for no runs allowed in 5 straight innings for both sides. Angel looking to continue that trend here. Here's a 1-0. And that's way inside, 2-0.
Two-0, 1 out. Runner leading off at first.
As that's going to get away from Smith as Yoshida, who's pinch running now over on second.
Did he swing and miss on that? Or?
With 1 out, runner in scoring position for the Bombers, who are up 4-1 in the ball game. The pitch, that's going to be popped up in the air, coming right back towards us and just shy of the press box. 2-2 count for King. With 1 out, runner in scoring position. As that's a hard hit ball, that's going to be off in a foul territory, still 2-2.
The ball was sailing right towards us, almost towards us, ladies and gentlemen. Almost got ourselves a souvenir. It's 2-2. Runner at second, 1 out.
King still at the plate, long at bat for him here, as he's been fighting at the dish. Here's a 2-2 as the check back over from Angel over to Bossis, just not in time. Still going to be 2-2 with 1 out, 1 runner on. Top of the order in Winton on deck. Angel looking back over on second. Throw over to third, and that got him in time for the second out of the inning, as Yoshida just got caught up a little bit there with the second out. So it's going to be 2 outs, top of the 7th inning. King still at the plate.
Still 2-2 with 2 outs. The base is now emptied. Angel sets, delivers.
As that's going to get him for strike 3. Looking. The first strikeout for Angel. Going to retire the inning. Now we go to the bottom of the 7th inning when we return. Welcome back. PSCL action here. Early morning baseball at Palm Springs Stadium. George Hathaway alongside Marshall Garvey on the call. As Connor Smith steps up to the plate, bottom of the 7th inning.
Johnny Young looking to close out what has been a fantastic effort on the mound today.
As that pitch way upstairs, 1-0.
No runs allowed since the solitary run he surrendered in the first inning. Bombers 3 outs away from their first win of the season.
As that's popped up into the air, shallow center field. Winton chasing underneath that one for the first out. As Young looking to go throw a complete game here. After, like what Marshall said, 1 run in the first inning and then has thrown a shutout since then. With 1 out, brings us to Santiago. It's the 3rd time we're going to see him tonight. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. Grounded out in the 2nd and flew out in the 4th. Here's a pitch. And it's going to get up the upstairs corner. 0-1 count. Here's a pitch from Young. That's going to be chopped right up the center for a base hit. Santiago getting on base for the first time comes in the bottom of the 7th as the Haymakers, they're down 3 runs. Harris at the plate. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game. Had a base hit in the 2nd inning, grounded out in the 4th. With 1 out, 1 runner on for the Haymakers. Young looking to go for a complete game. Nobody warming up in the bullpen. As that pitch down low in the dirt.
1-0. Young 2 outs away from a complete game victory.
Here's a 1-0 as that's going to be foul tipped and caught. 1-1.
Haymakers have been aggressive on the base paths all day. Not much to show for it. would be imperative for them to go for broke here. It's a stolen base right now. They get things in motion for them. 1 on the count.
1 out, 1 runner on for the Haymakers here, bottom of the 7th. Check swing. He did not go. It's going to be 2-1. Harris at the plate for the 3rd time. Singled in the 2nd, grounded out in the 4th. With 1 out, 1 runner on, bottom of the 7th. Here's a pitch from Young. That's going to be cracked up the middle. Right up over to Gonzalez. As Santiago going to be out over on 2nd for the 2nd out of the inning. Harris safe over fielder's choice.
Bobbled it for a second, though. Thus, they're wasting the chance for a game-ending double play. Nonetheless, the Haymakers down to their final out. And we will have a pinch runner at first.
With 2 outs, runner on first. It's Goldsberry. He's at the plate as the Haymakers down to their final out. Here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning. As the Bombers are up 4-1 here in the ball game. Goldsberry 0 for 2 in the game. Flew out to Hubbard over in right field and then grounded out in the 5th inning. The pitch, that's going to get inside for a strike. 0-1 count coming up for Goldsberry. Bombers up 4-1 here, bottom of the 7th inning. The 0-1 pitch, that's popped up into the air over in the right center. As Hubbard getting underneath that one for the final out of the ball game. And the Bombers come up victorious here for their first win of the season. They're now 1-1. Haymakers fall to 1-2 in the PSCL season.
Yep, an absolutely stellar game on the mound for both teams after the first inning, but ultimately the runs piled on by the Bombers just proved too much to overcome. Young with a complete game effort, only 1 run allowed as his season continues to be off to an outstanding start through two trips on the mound so far. Both teams shaking hands after a well-fought game.
That'll do it for us up here in the booth. George Hathaway alongside Marshall Garvey. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure to stick around for the 11:30 game in a little bit, as we'll be on the call there as well. Thanks so much.